Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kenji again. I've run into a very interesting man and a general good guy. His name is Paolo Tosolini. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's one of the cornerstone guys, I feel like, within the Seattle social media community, and wanted to take a few minutes to talk to him. So, yeah, without further ado, here he is.
Hey,
Mr. Paolo!
Hey La, how are you?
How are you,
Ciao.
sir?
I'm Italian, so that's why I speak with my hands. I'm so gesture-based, I know.
So, Mr. Paolo,
Yes.
you are considered to be Microsoft's podcast guru.
Well, let me tell you my story. So, why am I passionate about podcasting? Because podcasting is, how do you express it? It's passion captured in audio and video. And as a passionate person, I don't write very well, but I can talk and I can express myself through images. So that's why I love podcasting. And I started 3 years ago. And have you heard my story about how I started podcasting, Kanji?
No.
I was a consultant for Microsoft, and one day I was driving to the office every day, and my car broke. I had an old car, and it was the beginning of the summer, and I said, should I buy a new car or should I buy an iPod? It was 3 years ago, right, in 2006, and I decided to do the right thing. That is to buy an iPod and just walk to work every day. And what happened is that I started downloading those little things that were called podcasts, and every day I had 1 hour of learning. I utilized my downtime every day, and I got refreshed. I said, how can it be so simple and so powerful to learn while you're doing something like walking to work? So I decided to reinvent myself, and I started to advertise my services within the organization, and then things happen. And I am a big believer that you write your own job description just by doing what you love. And then, Kanji, you're doing right now, you are a social media reporter, so I know in your future it's going to be more social media. And I know that this is going to happen because you're just doing it, you have passion about this. So that's fundamental. Passion meets technology equals social media.
Very, very cool, Paolo. And so, Paolo, what is your official title at Microsoft?
So my title is New Media Business Manager. So just a fancy name to say that I'm leading an internal podcasting initiative at Microsoft that is about knowledge sharing. So Kanji, you could, let's suppose we are colleagues, right, at Microsoft, and you are on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast, and we are doing similar jobs. Mm-hmm. How can we exchange information? How can I share something that I know that you may need, or vice versa? We believe in Microsoft that the next best thing to just being in person and talking to each other is actually recording in video, like you're doing right now. Mm-hmm. And let's suppose you close a deal, or you just found something cool that is relevant to our products, or how you are going to present those products to a customer. You pick up your Vado HD or your Flip Mini or whatever, you just record your best practice and just say, here's me, here's how I closed this deal, and by the way, the customer was excited, and this is a better way to introduce ourselves to our audience. Now you capture this, where do you post it? So in Microsoft we build an internal YouTube where you post all this content, all this knowledge that comes from the mind of the people who are out there in the field, in the sales force. And then it becomes a repository. And as you tag this content, now you can be, I can search for you, Kanji, saying social media in the pharmaceutical industry, and suddenly it pops up your video where you recorded a best practice. Mm-hmm. Now that's knowledge sharing at its best. It's media, it's passion that is conveyed through these tools.
Wow.
And it's effective. So everybody creates content. It's not just one source who pretends to be the best, just telling other people what to do. It's peer-to-peer. Everybody contributes. That's what I do at Microsoft. We enable this scenario, and it just happens to be a successful scenario and something that Microsoft is love to do.
Wow, very, very
Yes.
cool. So it sounds like a huge program, but I imagine there are a lot of challenges involved with it.
Yes, you're right. So the program has different challenges. So it started as an internal experiment, and it's growing quickly. So what are the challenges? We need to get people on board. People have to believe that this is something useful, that they get value out of it. So you need a platform. You need one place where you post all this content. Then another challenge is you need some business practice, some business processes. How do you produce content? Do you have a studio? But we are a global company, so we cannot have multiple studios. So how do you make people create videos in a simple way? So we create programs around that. And then the third element is about how you market internally, right? This content. You have to be a marketer. It's just that you post something and suddenly everybody's going to come over. It doesn't work like this. You have to be, you're forcing, you're driving, a driver to make sure that others know about what you're doing and they find value and they talk about you. So you get other people talking, the talkers, right? Word of mouth, effectiveness, right? So once you combine all of this, and there is some science behind it because you need to scale, you have to have resources, you need to have operations. So I'm simplifying, but there are challenges that are good challenges. And this is about podcasting in the enterprise. So where confidential material can be shared within the boundaries of a company.
Wow, that's very cool, Paolo. Very, very cool.
Good.
So, Paolo, don't want to keep you too long. So, curious, you're from Italy.
I am.
If you were to recommend one place in Italy for anybody to go to, where would it be and why?
Wow, it's hard to just recommend one, but I'm going to recommend a city I love is Venice. And if you go to Venice, you don't have to bring a car because there are no streets, so you walk around. So it's a unique place where there are canals and there are bridges, and wherever you go, you can get lost because it's so hard to find a way, but you want to get lost in Venice because it's a unique place, and wherever you turn a corner, suddenly you find yourself immersed into history all over. And so I gotta say, just go in one place, just fly to Venice, spend a couple of days there, and don't forget that there is Florence, and then there is Rome, and then there is Milan. But just spend a couple of weeks, and then come back.
Very, very cool. Well, Paolo, it's been great. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Andrew, thank you.
All right.